Watching Donald Trump literally tear down the White House is very symbolic. A White House that was originally built by black slaves, might I add. For years, the propaganda has been pushed that black people were going to destroy America, that black people were uncivilized, that our culture was literally steeped in destruction. And now we are sitting in real time in 4K watching a white man completely destroy America. But one thing it does do is allows for the propaganda to now be unveiled as the lie that it has always been. But just like the original White House was built by black folks, when they destroy this country as you know it, black folks will be the ones to rebuild and lead the next one.
White people are furious because black people are silent on Trump while he destroys the economy of the United States. Okay, so let's get to the rest of the video. I'll be right back with more commentary. See you shortly.
Why is the black silence so deafening?
How y'all doing? I hope all is okay. There's an interesting video going around about why are black people silent? And I can't speak for every black person because we're not a monolith. Black people come in all shapes, sizes, genders, gender identity, and cultural, ethnic backgrounds, and also throw in a little religion and maybe secular as well. But as an American, as an African American, with the knowledge of the history of this country and how historically my ancestors, my people, are continually being used, abused, mistreated, disrespected, marginalized, yada, yada, yada. And to watch in real time laws that many have died and bled for and put their lives on the line, you know, going up against racist sheriffs, water hoses, dogs, all kinds of threats of brutality, car bombing, house bombings, burning crosses in their yard. And to watch after decade of fighting for that and finally getting the Civil Rights Act of 1964-65, and here we are in 2025, we talk about no more than 50 some years later, and we're still witnessing the wickedness and the evilness of white racists who want to sustain white supremacy. We witnessed an election where everybody seemed like they were singing Kumbaya and all well united. And when it was time for us to cast our vote, they decided on a racist, a criminal with felony convictions, a bad business person, a person who has the moral aptitude of a chihuahua. Yes, that's who y'all chose over someone who we know, if we look at all the mess that's going on right now, if we would have chose Kamala, how many of y'all can honestly say we'd be going through this chaos? So we're silent because we're tired. We're tired of telling y'all, look, shit ain't right here. We're suffering. We're not living like most people in the world. Look at China. You go to the store with $20, come out with bags and bags of groceries. You try to go grocery shopping with $20 over here. So we're tired. And so to me, black silence represents exhaustion. Or shall I say, a recognition that it is what it is. This is how these people have always felt about us. The whole, oh, we're in a post-racial society bullcrap narrative dispelled. Donald Trump not being a racist. And Mr. I done a lot for the blacks. Yeah, right. The whole policy of turning South African apartheid survivors into martyrs and giving them refugee status in this country while we're kicking out black and brown people daily? Yeah, that's why we're silent. We're sitting here, we're watching how y'all nature is never going to change. This is who you all are. So when you all threaten us with things like segregation, we welcome them because a lot of us, the majority of us, have reached a point where we feel it's best to stay amongst our own people. You all are safe to come into our spaces, but it's not safe for us to come into your neighborhoods, your communities, your shopping stores, okay, your religious facilities. We never know what we're going to get. Your events, your concerts. We never know. So we're silent. We're tired. Leave us alone, please.
92% of the black community have decided to stand down and to let them do all the work. We have showed them the game plan. We have told them what to do. We tried to lead them to the glories of fresh water, and they decided not to drink it. At this point, it is not our fault if you starve. It is not our fault if you are dehydrated. If you are thirsty, drink, because we showed you how to create a pond of water within your hands. Seeing the entire country quite literally and figuratively burn down to the ground, I'm not gonna lie, it kind of makes me a little anxious because I am missing something. I am missing something incredibly important. You know what that is? I am missing a black woman who can drink hot green tea with me. That's what I'm missing. For those who don't know, I am absolutely obsessed with green and jasmine tea. It's one of my favorite drinks. No sugar, no GMOs, no added supplements, just the nature and the leaves itself. What's interesting is this. Every now and then, I will get tagged into videos from other people of color, and they will ask me and other black people, why don't you help us? Why won't you help us? Why are you abandoning us? It's the same answer of what I said 3 months ago after the presidential election. You betrayed us. We trusted you and you stabbed us in the back. Here is a phrase that I continuously say to my friends because it is critically important. Trust and love is very important. However, trust is 10 times more valuable than love ever will be. I can still love you. I can still care about you. But I do not trust you enough to where you won't stab me in the back. Trust is the complete opposite. I can despise you and you can be my enemy, but I am no fool. If I can trust you enough to where you won't stab me in the back, then that trust will be placed. It's the same way with this. To the Latinos, to the Asians, to other people of color, I do care about them. I love y'all even. But I am no fool. I know I can't trust you because that election told me everything I needed to know. That election told me that a lot of you is not on the black community side. Love itself, my love for you, is not enough for me to have faith in you. If your trust was unbound and you continuously shown to me and everyone else that you are worth to be trusted, then we wouldn't be having this conversation now, would we? But because you have shown time and time and time again that you cannot be trusted, why are you acting surprised when we take our trust back? People need to understand that black people are not hateful. We care about you guys. We do love you guys, but we can't trust you for shit. So if the entire country has to burn down for you to realize that you have placed your trust into the wrong people, then so be it. That's all I gotta say on the matter. It is Onyx, and I'm gone.
Okay, I want to take a moment to say thank you to Donald Trump, not out of praise, but out of truth. Because while you rip through every part of this government, tearing down justice, equality, and fairness under the fake excuse of fighting DEI fraud, what you're really doing is confirming what black folks have been saying for generations. America was built on racism, fueled by fear and sustained by white supremacy. You've exposed it all. The masks are off. The polite racism, the fake allyship, the colorblind lies, it's all gone. Now we see it raw and unfiltered. You're not just targeting policy, you're targeting people. Black people, brown people, marginalized communities. And the wild part, we make up the smallest portion of this country, yet somehow we are the biggest threat to the lie that white supremacy built. That should tell you everything. You're afraid not of violence, not of replacement, but of the power we hold even when we have nothing. You see the way our culture, our brilliance, our resilience, our excellence continues to shape this country, even when it tries to erase us. Donald Trump is just the loudest version of a system that's always been in place. He is the living, breathing proof that this country was never designed with us in mind. And yet, we continue to define it. So thank you, Donald, for exposing what so many tried to deny, for showing the world that the fear of black greatness is real, for proving that racism isn't in our imagination, it's in the fabric of this nation. And to my people, we don't have to fight to prove our worth. He's doing that for us. All we have to do is stand firm, stay awake, and know that the truth is finally louder than the lie. We are not broken. We are not the problem. We are the evidence of the power that this country can contain. Let that truth ring louder than its hate.
I have been struggling on how to say this, and I made a video earlier, I took it down, but y'all are focusing on the wrong people. Y'all are focusing on why don't black people care what Trump is doing. We do. But we're focusing on us and ourselves to survive through this. What y'all need to be focused on instead of, well, why aren't black people actively protesting and doing all the things that they usually do? One, because we told you we're not going to do that anymore. Okay? We told you. Y'all didn't listen. Two, because we can't help you as much as the people you need to help you. Okay? You need white people. You're focusing on black people, you need to focus on white people. You need to get their attention, their compassion, their empathy, their social and political power. You're focused on the wrong people. You're focused on the wrong demographic. Black people don't make up the vast majority of this country. We don't make up the vast majority of politicians. We are not in the White House. I'm telling you, you need to focus on white people and getting them to actively care and campaign and protest in your name, in your favor, and leave black people alone.
And in another story of somebody getting exactly what they voted for, another white woman has come on this app and she is blasting her family because they refuse to loan her money so that she can buy groceries because she came on the internet celebrating the fact that people are going to lose their SNAP benefits, and she herself lost her SNAP benefits and then tried to go to her family and borrow money, and they refused. They said, you voted for this. You were just celebrating about this. Live in your truth. And so she is on here blasting her family and calling them all kind of selfish and all kind of names. Like she wasn't just celebrating the fact that people were going to lose their SNAP benefits. I do not know why she thought that they were different, but one quick Google search would have told you that you yourself would also have lost your benefits. This is the part where we F around and find out. And to be perfectly honest, I agree with that family standing 10 toes down. If we continue to bail these people out and help them in the systems, it's not like they're going to do anything. It's not like they're going to be appreciative of any of this. They're going to find some way to use that same energy to try to oppress people once they are not in the oppressive class anymore. They use every tool they can to get up just so that they can spit on people that they feel are less than them. It is truly sad that we are seeing so many people on this app who are dependent on these resources celebrating that they're going to go away, only for them to find out that they're the ones being affected and come on here and now all of a sudden they're social warriors trying to help the economy as if they're not the part of the very biggest problem we have.
Okay, I think I figured out why Harmony and people is calling Black Americans cowards and carrying on because we not out there in the streets. They thought that we had no self-control. That's what they thought. They thought that when we was doing all that stuff, like in 2020 and Ferguson and Baltimore and stuff like that, and LA riots and stuff like that, it was just because we, they were so easily provoked that as soon as somebody do something to one of us, we don't have any strategy. We don't have any type of thought process. We just go like an attack dog. They thought that we had no self-control, and us deciding to sit out and being all on one accord and being strategic and not reacting is showing a level of self-control that they did not realize that we had. They thought they didn't know about us. They thought that we are messing up their perception of us. They are having a crisis about our identity, about Black Americans' identity. Everybody is. Immigrants are having a crisis about our identity. You know what I mean? White folks is having a crisis about our identity. They thought that they could count on us. They thought they knew us. And they never knew us because they didn't know our motivations. They didn't know what we were doing. They just saw the effects and they heard what the media said and they took it and ran with it. So even the people that was like, oh, we support you, this and that, the other thing, they thought that we were, justified, but they also thought we were uncontrollable. Because that's why they'd be like, be peaceful when you go out there. I know you got to go out there, but do it like this. Like, they think they treat us like we're children, like we are feral, unruly children. And now that we are showing them that we was doing the whole time. But now that we are showing them now, yeah, we're good. You go ahead and do that. They can't handle it. They can't handle it because it's messing up what they thought they knew about Black Americans. This whole year has been a mind fuck for them. Between us sitting out, between us delineating, we're really showing them in real time who we are. But we always knew, what they say, if you don't know, now you know.
Why are Black people saying this is not our fight making you upset? I've seen video after video from Latino creators or Latino people coming online pleading to Black people to put our bodies at the forefront of this fight against illegal ICE raids, against deportation, against roundups, against undocumented people being rounded up and families being disjointed. But there's several reasons as to why you should not be shocked that Black people are sitting this one out. You guys all remember that this is a subset of your community last year. You're also aware that across the board, overwhelmingly Black people voted in favor of the candidate that had Black interests, Latino interests, Asian interests at heart. Where if you look at the sentiments of what that vote represents, half of your community voted for this. Half of your community said F you to Black people. Half of your community said we don't care about you. Half of your community said you wanted to be white aligning and white adjacent. And now you're being reminded of the fact that you're not. We have to have the ability to hold multiple truths when we speak to each other as communities. The truth is that Latinos are not in a monolith. It's just an all-encompassing umbrella that they put you under. And that, yes, the majority of the people that voted for Donald Trump and were doing that were Cuban and were other people in different parts of the country, and undocumented people in Mexico, in California are being impacted by that. That is true. But what's also true is that there is a history of Black people fighting and being at the forefront of civil rights in this country since the inception of civil rights in this country. And it's always been pushback and non-solidarity from multiple communities who are voting and always going against Black people. So this particular time when Black women especially really came out in droves and really fought forward with our votes, and you guys didn't do it, your community didn't do it. It's like, why would I fight now? Why would I fight now? So I just need you, like, if you're gonna come online and make pleas and ploys to Black people, because I've seen so many videos, start by acknowledging the fact that your community has colorism, anti-Blackness, and voted against your own best self-interest. Start with that. Don't come in here and ask Black people just to put our bodies at the forefront of the line, because we've been doing that for a century. Secondly, I think the majority of Black people who are saying that they're sitting this one out are using their voice in other ways or having solidarity with you in other ways, but they're not going to protest. They're not going to go get hit by rubber bullets. They're not going to put themselves in harm's way or make that effort again, because you guys, it's time for you to fight for yourself. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense for you. Now, there's also a bunch of Black people online who are asking Black people to come out and fight for everyone, and everyone needs to fight, and this is our fight as well. While I do agree with a lot of those sentiments, because If they're doing it to brown citizens, they can do it to black citizens, and they can use the Congo and Haiti as an excuse to just racially profile all of us. That's very true. But you have to stop telling black people to put themselves on the line when black people are exhausted. Black people are exhausted. Black people have done so much for all communities in this country. At a certain point, there has to be a time where they need to rest. And right now, a bunch of people are resting, and that's fine. But there will always be people in our community who fight. Like, I'm using my voice every fucking day on this app. I've made an update about every single thing going on with ICE raids, locations, where they are, what's happening with Trump. I do it every day on my social page, and it's exhausting. Like, I'm actually exhausted. Today I put up like 10 posts. I'm exhausted, but I'm doing it because I know my voice has reach, and I know that people need to hear it. And that's my personal choice. I'm not doing it because I feel obligated. So stop trying to make people feel obligated to put themselves on the line again. I say that to say it's a lot of fucked up shit happening in this country. I know that people and families, I was in tears last night seeing people self-deport themselves and people getting rounded up, grandfathers and grandmothers and abuelitas getting taken away, who are the people who are the fabric of this city in LA. But I just know that it doesn't end here, and there are black people on that list. There are black countries on that list. There are black countries on that list, and I'll say that to you again. There are black countries on that list.
Yeah, so white people are furious because black people are silent on Trump while he destroys the economy of the United States. But the truth is, according to black people, this is not their fight, because they want the white people against voting for him, but they ignored the black people and went ahead, voted for him, because they wanted to punish the black people because of the hatred of the black people, because of being racist against black community in the United States. You know, one of the policies of Trump was the mass deportation, and according to white people, they thought that the mass deportation was for the black people. They wanted black people to be deported out of the United States. And unfortunately, you know, black people cannot be deported because they are not immigrants in the United States. Black people saw it coming, you know. They knew what the economy was going to be. They knew what Trump was going to do in his presidency. And that's why they usually, you know, they could warn these white people against voting for him. That's why the best candidate, according to the black people, was Kamala Harris, because black people saw what Trump did back in 2017 when he was the president in his first term. Right at the moment, the economy of the United States is falling apart. Prices, you know, are skyrocketing. Be it the price of gas, be it the price of eggs, be it the price of, you know, everything is high. Like, the cost of living in the United States is very high at the moment because white people voted against their best interests. Now they want the black community to join them. They want the black community to come together so that they can fight this. But the black people are, you know, they are silent because according to them, this is not their fight. They did their part. Black people are minding their business because they knew this was going to happen when Trump becomes the president of the United States. They were ready for this. That's why they are not even, you know, bothered. Yeah, so please let me know what are your thoughts and opinions about this down in the comment section. Stay safe. See you in the next episode.